In this lesson, what I want to do is to take you through and show you the the 3i CMS control panel, and just explain it briefly to you. When you log in, you'll log into your URL here, which will bring up this the sign-in document. So I'll just quickly sign in. So that's me signed in, hopefully. Okay, so it takes you to this, basically the control panel, or what you'll hear me consistently recalling the back end. What I always do is I click on this tab. If I right click on this tab and click open a new tab, what I can then see side by side is the front end of the controls, the front end of the website, which is where your visitors are going to see, and I can see side by side the back end. So going very briefly, and we'll go across the tabs. First of all, we have the dashboard. In the dashboard, you can see the Google Analytics. When we activate that, in many instances we don't, but if you want us to activate it, we can activate it. Going along the top, you can, from this area here, I could click and quickly to start adding a new article, and we'll come back to that later. I can review pending articles. Pending articles are where maybe that's me going to a new article, so I can start writing an article, but I'll just flick to go back to the dashboard again. I can look at pending articles. These are articles that have been written, probably by teachers, where they've not yet published it to the desktop. Sorry, to the front end. If I click on that, I click on pending, I can see all of these articles are sitting in the pending file and waiting to be published to the website. Going back to the dashboard. Moderate comments. Well, in most instances we don't actually have comments live on school websites. If you do, we'll teach you how to go do that specifically. Inactive members. Members are where you have particular groups that can go to certain parts on the front end of the website. It could be for students, it could be a teacher section, or it could be a governor section. And again, generally we don't activate that on school websites. Coming down to the bottom, we can see that today there's been no article views, total article comments, no comments posted, no new users to the website. And most of this you don't have to worry about. Currently on the system there are 26 categories. That means menu structure, and again I'll explain that later. 3 tags, 37 articles posted, that's pages on the website. And if we look at the system, this just tells us how much memory is used on the system, and you don't have to worry about sign up and activity log. Activity log just tells us what's happened and who's done what on the log. Most of what you can see on this part of the website really is for us at Design3i to be able to go through and set your document up correctly. If we go, the next thing along is articles. You can see we've got a section here for comments, but again we don't use comments for schools, so just ignore that. If you go into articles quickly, you have a method for searching what articles are on the system. On this side here you have all the articles that are currently available. I can look at 10 articles, or I could expand that and look at all 50 articles on the page, just like you can on most websites. I can change the order of how they appear on here. And then I have this button here in the top right hand for adding a new article. If I want to preview an article but not actually see it on the website, so just to see what so maybe you have an article, for instance here, which is pending. It's not actually published on the website, so if you went on the front end you wouldn't see it. But if I still wanted to see it, I could click on this and it will take me in and show me a preview of what that page will look like. So I can actually see what the page looks like here. This button here is just to say edit, and this one just tells me a little bit about that website, but again don't worry too much about that. So that does content. We then go on to categories. I'll be coming back to this in a great deal later, but for now we just assume that this is the section here where you add new categories. And for categories, what I mean is the menu structure. So if we look at here, it's how you navigate around the website. So for instance, our classes here is a category, foundation is a category, year 1 is a category, and it's just a part of the menu that takes you to another section. So if I click that, it takes me to this section. So really see categories as a new section. We then have files, all the files that you have on your system, on your website, whether they be a photograph, a PDF, a Word document, or a PowerPoint, anything at all, has to be stored somewhere in the file structure. Again, we'll be having a special video about this later. Finally, users. This tab is where you manage the user. Just click on that. Okay, this is where you manage the users. If you are not the administrator, you probably won't see this tab. And again, I'll come back and there'll be a special video for that. Now there is a little access here for preference, maintenance and plugins. I'd ask if you don't go into this too much. This is actually what we at Design3i again will be using to make sure your website's optimized for best use. If you go in and change some of those, it's quite difficult for us to get the settings back. We can, and in most instances what we'll do is back it up to the last backup, which was either the day before or the week before, depending on where things went wrong and when you notified us. So that's a quick intro to the actual control panel.